Before I start, maybe. All right. So my name is Gladys Njura, and I'm a super excited health and wellness enthusiast. And the beauty with this topic is that we all can once in a while become experts in it. I got involved in this space of health and wellness more than 2 decades ago. I had gone to school. I'm a trained teacher at Kenyatta University. I worked in the bank. And then I was invited, the way you've been invited today, if you're a guest, I was invited to have a look at an opportunity that deals a lot on health and wellness. And I went into a meeting and everything they talked about made a lot of sense. Though, of course, I was going to actually make it as a business side hustle for myself. I actually met the health part of it and I got totally sold in. And I want to tell you guys, I have never looked back. And I want to say, because I had prayed to God for an opportunity, I actually thank God to date that this opportunity came over to me. And I learned so much about health and wellness. That has been a pure blessing for me and my family and the people around me. And eventually, as the years went by, it's become my core area in my life. And so if you're here, I want to tell you that it is possible for each one of us to understand about health and wellness. I always challenge people that you should not fear this knowledge about health and wellness. Let's remember one thing, that even the doctors and the nutritionists and the biochemists, anybody who is interested in understanding about health, they went to school and they learned. And it's out of that learning that they have been able to do so much, and that they can be able to do many things. And because we are here every Sunday, we are learning about health, wellness, the challenges that are affecting us as people. We have a lot of pains going on in our families, chronic diseases coming over and really challenging us. Mine is to say that in this space, we all can be able to prevent. And just in case we find ourselves having challenges with our health, we need to know that we can be able to do something about it. We have the power. And so I begin my testimony. I'll begin with mine. When I came into this space of health and wellness, I was about 31 years old. I had young children. My firstborn was 9 and my secondborn was 3 years old. And as a young mom, I remember I was so ignorant about what was happening in my life. Very ignorant indeed. And because of that ignorance, I had chronic fatigue. I would get from job to the house, slump in the couch, and that was my life. And I thought that was normal. We say, nimetoka a job, I'm tired. I thought that is it. And then my children, my firstborn had chronic tonsillitis that even should stay away from school 1 or 2 weeks in a row. And the only recipe the doctor had given me eventually was, we have to go under the operation room and she has to be removed her tonsils. My secondborn was showing signs of, just give me a minute. My secondborn was showing signs of bronchitis and And, in my family, we are asthmatic. My brother and my sister were using the inhaler. And so it's at that point that actually Neolife found us. My mom had chronic arthritis. And I learned that if you learn how to do a total lifestyle change and you add on 1 or 2 things into your health, that you actually can change that narrative. So I want to welcome you so that we can invest in our health. Let's remember that we've all been told that prevention is always better than cure. We all know that. And so if prevention is better than cure, why are we not preventing? What is this thing that is, what can I say, blinding us, that we actually can't see, that we need to prevent? And so I want to welcome you to this very briefly. Today, we are looking at the chronic diseases, the big chronic diseases that are challenging us. And when we talk about health and wellness and total lifestyle change, I'll go straight to say that if this is the basic way of eating healthy. So if you've fallen short of this as a family, this is where you begin. So the first thing we need to know is that we need to have whole grains. We need to have whole grains in our diet. And when we have the whole grains, we are able to have the right nutrients for what we call cellular nutrition. And that is one thing we all need to know, that cellular nutrition is so critical for us that we need to make sure that we are having 3 servings of whole grains every single day. And I'm not talking about refined starch. I'm talking about a whole grain, the way it comes from the farm. And when you're getting it to the table, it has not been polished. It has not gone through that processing that will remove some of those things. All right. The other thing is that we need to have a lot of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are critical. We all know when we were during the COVID season, the doctors talked a lot about boosting your immunity. And when you boost your immunity, any pathogen, any virus, anything that is trying to fight you, it is fought by the T killer cells, the white blood cells, and the body can be able to fight for itself. So you will not be put down by those big diseases we are talking about. Then we need to talk about proteins. And when we are talking about proteins, the best form of proteins are the, of course, a mixture of all the proteins. We have the plant proteins, we have the white meat, and the other sources of animal protein. And we are told we need to do more of the plant-based proteins and the white meats. And of course, when you talk about white meat, we are saying that they need to be organically grown, whether it's fish, whether it's chicken. But you see, that has become a challenge these days because of commercializing the food industry. And when we talk about the red meats, you should be very careful not to eat a lot of treated meats. The ones that are in the supermarkets, they are treated, they can last there for days and months. And so we need to be very careful about that because they are treated with things that can be potential carcinogenics. They can cause cancer, they can cause inflammation, and so many other things. And of course, fats and sugars, we need to reduce on the fats and sugars. And that's a whole big topic because when we talk about fats and sugars, all the refined foods that we eat, the ugali, the rice, the chapatis, all the things that come from the refined foods, the ones that come in the shops that when they are polished, all that is sugar in itself. And that becomes quite a challenge. And not to mention now the drinks. There are so many drinks in the world. If you go to the shop right now, or you go to the supermarket and look at the shelves, and even in the local shops, they have too many localized small, different types of juices and places with ice creams and all those kind of things. And because of that, then you find that we are having those challenges we are talking about. We've inverted this pyramid upside down, doing a lot of sugars, a lot of sweets, a lot of the animal proteins, and on and on and on. And that gets worse because we also need to exercise, we need to sleep well, we need to take lots of water, we need to do, we need to have sunlight, we need to have a good, a good exposure to a good social life, and all that is becoming quite a challenge. And so I'm going to go and look at the major challenges we have. And some of those, we've seen one of the reasons why we may have challenges, the health challenges we'll be talking about, is because we have inverted the healthy food pyramid. We are doing the opposite of what we should actually do. And so we eat to live. We live to eat. And many people love food. Sometimes we live to eat. We are not eating so that we can live a healthy, longer life. Then another issue is about our weight. We need to be privy of what our weight should be, depending with your height. How many kilos should you carry? And that's what we call the body mass index. And everybody on this call needs to understand how to calculate the body mass index. And once you learn how to calculate the body mass index, anything below 18.5 is not good for us. 18.5 to 24.9, that is almost 25. That is the normal. Anything beyond 25 to 30, that's overweight. 30 to 35, that's obese. And over 35 in terms of BMI is clinically obese, which can be very, very dangerous. And because of all those factors, we find that now we are faced with very many health challenges that are really hurting us. And I'm going to mention them, just a few of them, because these days the chronic diseases are more than the 5, the 6 we used to know. So many other diseases have cropped up and they are really messing up. Let me start with the heart diseases. You know, the heart diseases are many. There are many. It's not just one type. There are many reasons why people have heart diseases. There are many types of heart diseases. And what is happening today is that what happens is that the heart diseases, they are the #1 killer diseases in the world. You know, they kill more people than so many other diseases put together. And most even are not documented. So what are the challenges here? We have what we call the coronary heart disease, you know, where your arteries become narrow or blocked and can't supply enough blood to the heart and also even to the other parts of the body. And that includes even the oxygen that every part of your body requires. And you know, blood will carry the oxygen, will carry the nutrients, you know. And so when that blockage or narrowing happens, then there we definitely have a challenge. We have another one called angina. Angina is when you feel like you have a stone in your chest area. Yani, it is so heavy and painful, and there's a lot of discomfort on the chest and the arm and the neck, the stomach, sometimes the jaw part of it. So it means that the blood supply has been restricted to the heart. And that one should give you a signal that you need to run to the doctor urgently. You know, for the narrowing and the blockage, sometimes you may not have the signs until it is too late. For the angina, the minute you start having those discomforts, you urgently need to see the doctor. Then, of course, we have a heart attack. A heart attack is where now there's complete blockage of that supply of blood. And it's all normally said your first heart attack can be your last. So we need to be very careful. And then, of course, there's high blood pressure. There's the issue of clots and strokes and atherosclerosis, and there are so many others. Let's not go into that. So what are the solutions? Because here in Your Life, we do have solutions. #1, what may cause these things may be your age. The older you become, the more susceptible you are to these diseases. Then, of course, the sex, our sex. Men generally are at a higher risk of... Okay, I need to do something. Sorry. Okay. So we are saying that men generally are at a higher risk of heart disease. So if you're on this call, think about your dad, think about your uncles, think about your husband. And of course, let's teach our male children, moving on, that they are at greater risk of getting a heart disease, a heart attack, and all that. Family history. Why family history? The issue of DNA. And of course, many families have the same patterns, lifestyle patterns. You know, a family will have the same kind of habits, and that can carry on from family to family, and that can be quite a challenge for us there. Smoking. Of course, we know smoking is addictive, and if you're on the call and you smoke, or if you have someone around you who smokes, the best thing is to pray and work towards that reduction of smoking and stopping it altogether. Unhealthy diet. That's a big one in the 21st century. You know, like today, most people, maybe in the towns, have eaten something unhealthy. Sunday could be a cheat day. And many people have many cheat days and they are eating a lot of unhealthy diet. So if you also have, if you go to check your pressure, which can be checked even in a chemist, you need to know that as long as you've been told your pressure is high, that's an indication that you need to do something about it. So let's keep checking our pressure regularly. It is very, and for our parents too, let's not just go home and just visit our parents and take to them sugar and everything. Let's create time to make sure that they are being checked, their pressure regularly, so that you are able to tell what you need to do as early as possible. High cholesterol. Many people have high cholesterol. Many people. Could be a reason, it could be because they are not exercising, they are eating fatty foods, they don't have a lot of fiber in their diet, and that could be a big one. And so we need to make sure that we check our cholesterol levels. And also, even if you don't check, if you start working on it right now, that cholesterol can be actually done with. And then diabetes. Diabetes is a big cause of, if you don't treat diabetes well, it can be a cause of the high blood pressure and vice versa. So what is the solution? Let's reduce stress, because stress can be part of that. Weight management, we saw that. Exercise, I mean, we need to have an exercise regime where even if you're not running or going to the gym or doing aerobics, you are walking as a form of exercise, not the normal walking. You're actually going out to walk as a form of exercise. Then, of course, we need to include supplements. Why? Because the diet we are eating is lacking. The way we harvest food, the way we plant it, the way our soils are lacking a lot of these. When you lack some of these things like calcium, magnesium, omega-3 in your diet, then you find that it can be a challenge. But if you incorporate them, then they're able to actually correct some of these challenges that we have. And of course, a healthy diet rich with nutrients. If we are to begin talking about a diet, it would be a lot, because a healthy diet requires you to have whole grains, proper fruits and vegetables, a variety of them, having all the vitamins, A, B, C, D, E, and then, of course, having all the minerals, the macro, the micro, and the trace minerals, and enzymes, and good proteins, all those things. So now, what is our solution here? If at any one time from today, you go and find out that you have issues with pressure, if you get to that point when you have issues with pressure, number one, please take ProVitality. Why I'm talking about supplementation, in the first world now we are in today, the 20th century, if you go to a place like the first world, every family has, they have what do we call it? The way you budget, they have a budget for supplements. Because as we've said, we all have deficits in our eating habits. So ProVitality is a super multivitamin that has so many things that will help you, okay? Then garlic is very good. We all know that garlic is good for thinning the blood and for taking care of oxidation in the body, which can be a factor that aggravates high blood pressure. And then we have a product here that I'm going to highlight that everybody needs to take once in a while, whether you have heart disease or not. It's called lipotropic. Lipotropic adjunct has been made from the B vitamins, and it's very, very important for maintaining a healthy heart. Whether you are sick or not, the B vitamins, the inositol, the choline, they're very, very important for keeping especially the cholesterol and the bad fat away in the body, all right? And then we have omega-3. Omega-3 is also very, very important. It's not just for children, it's important for adults as well. And so omega-3 is very good for your heart. And that's just a basic of what I've written. There could be other products I've not mentioned, like the CoQ10. If you have high blood pressure, you don't have energy, please add on to CoQ10. If you've taken a lot of medication for very many years, add on CoQ10. And of course, there's vitamin E. And let me not go into more details. I just wanted to make it as simple as that. The next thing is osteoporosis, bone and joint issues. Bone and joint issues has become something that can actually incapacitate somebody's movement, okay? And so if you're not careful and if you don't prevent it, you find that eventually, because of age, many people will suffer from these challenges. So we have osteoporosis where your bones are weak and your bone, the density and the mass is compromised. We have arthritis. Arthritis, you have swelling, you have pain, you have, it can help, your body parts can divert from their normal, where they're supposed to be, they start going to, they change their side where they are, and you start swelling, and there's a lot of pain, especially during the cold season. And then, of course, if you have signs like fractures and sprains and dislocations, those could be issues that affect us, and it could be an issue of maybe sometimes even your bones are brittle, and so the breaking or getting fractures becomes very easy. Then there are things like rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. And being autoimmune, it means the body's immune system is attacking the healthy cells. And it causes a lot of inflammation and swelling. There you need to really work on it so that you get it back to the right place. Then gout. And you know it's when you have too much uric acid in the body. And gout is a place where your big toe actually swells, and even the other toes, and you can't even wear shoes. And there are many others that I will not go into. What may be causing these things? Genetics, from family to family. My family is a family of bone and joint issues, and that we know. It could be age. As you age, it gets worse. Hormonal imbalance, especially menopausal ladies. It's at this point when your estrogen goes down that your calcium cannot be absorbed as much. So that becomes a challenge to your bones and your joints. Occupation, depending on where you work. If you do too much lifting, maybe you are a nurse and you keep lifting the sick, or maybe you work in an industry where you're always carrying things, or maybe you're a driver and you're always seated. That can affect you. Inactivity, you know, where we live a sedentary lifestyle. We are not moving our muscles and strengthening our bones. Our lifestyle, if you take too much sugar, too much milk. No, let me not talk about milk. Let me talk about too much sugar, too much drinks, chemical things. They can actually affect your bones. And then, of course, environmental factors. So what can we do about that? What's the solution? Learn to do massages. You know, you can do that at home. When you feel you have those challenges, please learn to massage and use the ointments that can help you relieve the pain, manage your weight if you have weight, exercise, supplement. We have supplements that can help you to actually alleviate that challenge, and you live a healthy life. And of course, a healthy diet rich in nutrients. We said you must do your whole grains, a variety of your fruits and vegetables, fiber, all the vitamins and minerals, good proteins, and that is very, very important, fish oil. So what is the solution? If somebody is going through these challenges, please give them the Pro Vitality. Why we are saying the Pro Vitality is because it's a 4-in-1. So in it, we have the omega-3, we have the carotenoid to boost your immunity, where the fruits and vegetables are not giving you enough. We have the treonine. Treonine has the oils that are in the whole grains that we remove when we eat refined foods. And we have here a tablet, which is more than a multivitamin, that has all the vitamins, the minerals, it has enzymes, and some good protein in it. Then, of course, in the ligaments, where the bones meet each other, there's something called synovial fluid, and there's something called a cartilage. So as the years go by, the cartilage gets worn out, and even the fluid can get interfered with. So when that happens, that's where you need your omega-3, because of the fluid returning back that fluid that needs to be there, removing the inflammation. Omega-3 will remove inflammation by 68% in 2 weeks. Very remarkable. So that you stop taking a lot of painkillers. And then the full motion will start repairing your ligament, the cartilages, slowly by slowly, until there's comfort. And when the bones are moving up and down, that pain is not there anymore. And definitely we need calcium. And when you take calcium, you shouldn't take it alone. Calcium should come together with calcium, magnesium, D3. At least those three should flow together as one. That way, you have the benefit. And what I can say about Neolife is now they've added something called chelation, meaning the calcium in Neolife is absorbed more than 80 to 90% vis-a-vis anything that could be made from the factories that is synthetic, and the absorption rate is very low. And so you're not even seeing the value of what you're looking for. So that is very important for the bone and joints. Let's look at diabetes. Diabetes is where either your body, your pancreas is producing insulin, but your cells are not sensing that insulin and it's not being taken in as it should, so that it lowers the sugar in the body. Or the pancreas altogether is not producing as enough insulin, depending with the sugar that has been injected in your blood. So if the sugar is high and it cannot be handled by the insulin, then very likely you either become pre-diabetic. That means you're on the onset of actually getting diabetes. And each of them is dangerous enough because your sugar levels should not go below 6. They should be between 4 and 6. So anytime they go beyond 6, even if the doctor will say, you're okay, keep trying, as long as the sugar goes up, it's going to affect your kidney, your eyes, your nerves, and many other things in the body. And so you need to make sure that even if you're diabetic, your biggest goal is to make sure that you regulate that sugar back to 6. So don't just be comfortable taking insulin and the medication. You should fight like a bull so that that sugar can be controlled completely, so that you live a normal life. So what causes this? Overweight, physical inactivity, insulin resistance. Some people, of course, are born when they are type 1 diabetes. Nothing can be done other than injecting that insulin. But also, the more you eat well, the more the doctor reduces the dosages. Then genes and family history, mutation. Please make sure that you eat well, because if you're not eating well, you can potentially now start moving that mutation to your children. So it is very, very important. Hormonal imbalance, lifestyle, and environment. The environment we live in is an environment where people are eating badly. They are taking a lot of sugar, a lot of refined starch. They live a sedentary life, and especially people in the offices where you sit. The most likely thing is that you can easily have that challenge. And of course, the way we eat, if you're eating a lot of fatty food, it can compromise the getting the insulin the way it's supposed to be gotten from the pancreas, or the cells actually sensing that insulin and doing the work for you. So that is very important. As you can see here, you should have a normal balance of the glucose in your blood. But if the glucose is too much, now that's a problem. If it's too low, that's also another problem. So that's what we need to work on. So what's the solution? Make sure that you work on the insulin being sensed by the body. One of the things that can do that is zinc. Zinc is very important in helping the pancreas to produce insulin well. Then, of course, you need diet and nutrition, weight management. Most people who have weight, eventually they could potentially get pre-diabetic or diabetic. You need to exercise. You need to check your blood pressure. Remember, we said pressure can aggravate diabetes, and diabetes can aggravate pressure. Stress management, supplementation. So when you talk about supplement, you need especially the TRNN, because the TRNN will go and work on the chemistry of the cell. If the cells were unhealthy and they were not sensing the insulin produced by the pancreas, then the new cells will come when they are better and healthier, and they start doing the work in a normal way. And so, and of course, you boost your immunity with the carotenoid right there. Then the omega-3 together with zinc, They are very good for the production of insulin by the pancreas. And of course, all the vitamins and minerals are needed for that balance. Then, of course, we need to take botanical balance. This one has been revolutionary. Botanical balance is a product that, if you're consistent with, will bring back your sugar to the right area of 4 to 6. It has worked for many people. There are many testimonies. But remember, as you do that, don't go back to eating badly and living a sedentary lifestyle. Then, of course, we need fiber. Fiber is good because it helps remove the sugars that are not necessary in the body. I need to move faster. Fibroids, women issues. So fibroids are the abnormal growths that we see that's in women, and they are really stressing women. They give you heavy periods. They give you a lot of pain. They take a lot of they suck a lot of blood from you. You can become anemic. And then cysts. Those are common growths which could either be carcinogenic or benign. A cyst growth, it's not painful maybe, but in it also it causes a lot of challenges within your body. And of course, PMS. Many women are going through a lot of PMS and a lot of hormonal imbalances. And eventually, some of these things could even cause infertility. Hormonal imbalance can be a cause of infertility, where a woman is not conceiving and she can't understand why. Or where you conceive and you actually get a miscarriage and you're wondering what is happening. It's because the environment in the uterus is not conducive enough. So what can we do about that? Let's start, the causes is when you start your periods too early. Take care of your baby girls so that they don't have to start menstruation too early. When you feed them with a lot of junk, they can start their periods at the age of 9 or 10. But if you feed them well, that can come in the right age of maybe 12 or thereabout. Obesity is not good for anyone, whether a child or a woman. Girls have a deficiency of vitamin D, having a diet high in red meat and lower in the green vegetables, fruits, and the dairy products. Drinking alcohol for women. Women are drinking alcohol like never before. Not good whatsoever. And then, of course, we've talked of hormonal imbalances. Women love sugar. They love chocolates. They love cakes. They're always biting these things. And, of course, an inactive lifestyle. So what are the causes? Hormonal problems, pregnancy, endometriosis is becoming a very big challenge for women, infections, and those cysts we can see. So what's the solution? Let's avoid adding salt and fat and too much sugar and caffeine in our diet. And remember, we also talked about reduce taking alcohol and smoking. You eat foods that have enough minerals and vitamins. Limit high sodium processed packages like crisps. You know, those crispy things that have a lot of salt. Exercise regularly, lose weight, especially around the waist. That one is important even for diabetics. That weight, the fat at the waist is not good. Avoid alcohol, increase potassium, reduce your stress, and then, of course, supplementation. So when we talk about supplement, we are again back to ProVitality. It's our basic product. Why I'm talking about it is because it is a 4-in-1. It will give you the basis to totally take care of your body from head to toe. And then add calcium, because PMS, where people have a lot of those challenges, is where the calcium is low. They get a lot of muscle spasms and they really stress the girls such that you can't go to class, you can't go to the office, there's a lot of pain. So calcium is very important, whether you have PMS or not, so how to prevent it. And then feminine herbal. It's a herb which has it's a complex of many herbs, and it will balance your hormones. And the minute your hormones are balanced, even menopause will not come early. You'll prolong it for as long as. You'll not have all these challenges we've seen happening. So feminine herbal is very important for women, and at least you need to do once, twice a year. And if you have a challenge, take regularly for some months so that you balance that hormonal imbalance. Headaches. There are people with a lot of headaches. Headaches. Those are really challenging. And back again to the hormones. You need to balance drinking too much alcohol and too much caffeine. You know, there are people who are even those who take tea. Tea has its own challenges, and the coffee, stress, intense physical exertion, sleep changes. If you don't sleep well, food additives. There are so many chemicals that we have, processed foods and sugary foods, drinking little or no water at all. So we need to work on these headaches. They really stress people. The solution is go drink a lot of water. Eat foods with a lot of complex carbohydrates, exercise, supplement with magnesium, B complex, omega-3, and vitamin E. Those are very good for circulation, you know, and for stress relieving. All those are very important. Avoid alcohol and caffeine, and sleep well. So once again, we have our Pro Vitality, which has omega-3 right there, but we've added another omega-3 because you need a little bit more if you have headaches. So you do your Pro Vitality in the morning, you add an omega-1 or 2 in the evening, then you have your magnesium. It's very good for maintaining that, and also the B complex. B complex is good for removing the stress in the body and the circulation of blood in a good way. So there are many other challenges we can talk about. Let me not go into them. I'll just mention, I didn't want to talk about cancer because cancer is quite a challenging problem that people are having. So cancer is another challenge people have. Alzheimer's and dementia. When you see yourself starting to forget things, you need to work on it now. And anyone who has a father or a mother, it's important for you to start getting for them mind enhancement and omega-3 so that they don't get to a point where they are completely having Alzheimer's or dementia. There could be many other challenges that we know out there, whether it is zile za pumu, you know, having asthma and those kind of challenges. There are many, many others. We can't finish all of them. I thought I just take those main ones. And we go back to eating right. Guys, remember, your health is your prerogative. It's not the doctor's prerogative. If you want to stay many years without having to go to a doctor with a major problem, you need to take that by the bull's horn. You eat right. And that's why in Your Life, we are always teaching about this. And we are always going back to the pyramid, how you're supposed to eat, how we've inverted them, the gaps that are there in our diet, and why you need to fill those gaps. So we have a scientific advisory board to be proud about. We are the only company in the world that has an independent scientific advisory board full of people who are known all over the world. They have done a lot of research. They have written a lot of journals. They have done a lot of groundbreaking discoveries, like Dr. Atherfast. He discovered the treatment for cancer. And when he saw that when you go through chemo, your immunity goes down, he came up with an antidote called Betagard. And so we have these people, you don't have to be worried, read more about them. And in closing, if you're here now when you saw me, please go to what we call the New Life University. In the New Life University, just go to Google and just type New Life University. You'll get more than 10 courses on health, about fats and carbohydrates, and issues to do with the sugar we've talked about, heart disease, skin, weight, and all those things. And the more you learn, the more you can be able to help somebody out there. So from me and the people who've invited you, I want to stop right there and invite Karima Said just to give her simple testimony. Then maybe we can see if there could be, if there are any question on the chat, Fred will work on that. But please, Karima, give us your short testimony. Karibu sana.
Wow, Gladys, that was very good. That was very good. Thank you for that. We learned a lot, and I love this company because every time we learn, every day we learn. And that's why I'm here for the last some years back. My name is Karima Said, as Gladys said. I'm a mother of 2. a grandmother, very excited, a grandmother of 3. I've been in the business for a while. I joined this business some times back. Karima is girl from Kisumu. I was born and brought up in Kisumu. I came to Nairobi. I got married in Nairobi. I had my children. I started working. When I was a girl, I've never worked. But after getting married, after getting children, then you see there's a need of you doing something to add an income in your home. I started working. I worked in different areas. Then I end up in the salon industry. I worked in Norfolk for like 6, 7 years. Then I went to Grand Regency. So I was in the salon industry for almost like 15 years. And before that, since I was a young girl, I had a problem of migraine. I had a very bad problem of migraine, which it always attacked me every time. And then it was normal to me and even to my family. They knew this is something normal because every time either I go to hospital, or even if I was in school, I was supposed to be brought back home. That was my life. And until I got married, until I got my kids, they knew. Whenever I used to come home, I had a migraine. They used to stop everything in the family. They knew. They switch off the lights, they switch off if they watch the television, they switch everything for me to get that comfort. As I was going when I started working, one day I was in the salon and I was working there and I tried to move. My God, I tell people I appreciate health like anything. That's why even everyone they know, when they see me, they know I'll talk about health. My friends, my community, my family, they know one thing I'll talk about health because I was healthy. I thought so. One day I just woke up, I could not move. I could not stand. I had a back slip, a disc. I could not do anything. I was carried to be taken to the hospital. I almost came to paralyze. I don't even know what happened. You know, when we are walking, we do things, we just take advantage of our life and our health. We don't take care of our health sometimes. As like Gladys saying, me being in the salon industry, I was eating everything I get, plus the dessert. You know, when you're in the hotel, you eat, as a manager, you are eating, you're given free food, you eat, you get dessert, you get tea at 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So you're having a life of just eating and thinking, and we don't walk much because from work, I was taken back home with a car. Then in the morning, I'm going again. I get transport, that luxury, and you forget that health can be a challenge to you. So for the guests and for the distributors who are here, please take care of your health. As Gladys said, as you budget for your food, budget for your supplements. For a woman, every woman needs a calcium. Every woman needs a supplement. Then one day, as I was sick, I used to go and see chiropractor every now and then. And I remember at that time, I used to pay 4,000 for a chiropractor to check on me. And I go there twice a week. And imagine people are saying sometimes it's expensive. Until you fell sick, until you feel that sickness and you go to the hospital and pay the bills is when you know that even to buying supplement is not expensive. As I was going in and out of checking, for 6 months I didn't go to work. I was at home. Then my sister, my angel, got this business in Embu, not even in Nairobi. And I'm the one who is in Nairobi. And she was in Embu. And I knew nothing about New Life. She told me, Karima, I had something. Can you try this product and it will help you? So I didn't even think twice. I took the products. I started using the products. She sent me what to buy. I remember my first product was TNN, Omega, and Calcium. Can you imagine those 3 products got me out of bed because I was being taken to the washroom. I was being taken to take shower. I could not move alone. I needed a support throughout. I can't imagine the pain I had in my back. I will never even want anyone to have that pain, what I went through. So I started using the product. The first month I felt better. The second month I told my sister, I want another product. And she told me, Karima, you're in Nairobi, I'm in Embu. Why don't you just join this company and start doing this business, it's a business you can do part-time, and at the same time, you can use the product. So me, I didn't think about the business. I was very excited about the product. I went back to work after using the products for my second month. When I went back to work, I started using the product there. People saw the excitement in me. They saw the energy in me. They saw the difference in me. Even the headache. I was treating my back, but automatic my migraine went. Why? Because of omega-3, because of the calcium. As I was treating one problem, the other being sorted without profit, and they get a bonus. The second month, I became a senior manager without even bringing the product. If I hear someone has a problem, I tell them. If they want it, they take. If they don't want it, it's up to them. But for my responsibility to share with everyone about our product, because I know they work. And I've sold the products for the last 15 years. No one has returned the product to me and said, Karima, these products are not working. Yesterday, I gave someone a product, a Super 10, alikuwa na grease kwa nguo yake. And I was like, okay, try this. She called me and told me, Karima, it came out, the grease from my kanzu. So I believe in this product, and I love them. Now, as I was doing that, slowly I started knowing I saw people doing the business. I saw Professor Nyang'nyong wives. I saw Keraiti Murungis. They came to the warehouse. I saw Chokora. I saw people are doing this business, different people from different level. Then I was like, if these people can do, why don't I do it? So I do it. I started bringing people in the business. I started share the product. I share the opportunity. I became a director. And that's the time I resigned from the salon industry. And I'm doing this, although I'm not doing it full-time, I'm doing it part-time. I'm a community person. I like helping people. I have an organization. I have an NGO, which I do community work a lot. And I love this product. This company has given me freedom, has given me personal development. I could not talk to people. I love people, everyone I see wherever I'm going. I've been traveling in Kenya. Before that, I knew Kisumu, Nairobi, and Mombasa. That's all. But now I've gone almost everywhere in Kenya. I've gone because of this opportunity. We went to Tanzania. We have been traveling. I've gone to Uganda because of this product, of this company. So in East Africa, I've traveled, and I know I'll travel along more than that for the guests who are here. I'm not pleasing anyone. I'm just giving you the right information. So if you want to try, as you budget for your food, please budget for the supplement, even if it's omega, even if it's a calcium. I have a girl who just walks and she twisted her hand and she got a fracture. I told her that's lack of calcium in your body. If you tell people, they think, but if you are, as a woman, you don't have supplements, you don't have calcium in your body, utasikia tu unaumwa na magoti na mgongo na kichwa na everywhere. You'll just have the pain everywhere. So this product, we need them. We need, like, as we need water, as we need food for our house, as we need other things for our body, we need this product. So for the guests, my God, I'll tell you, this is the best product you can use ever in the world. And for the distributors, please, if you are here, stay here, use the product, give your family, give. My mom has been using this product. Her diabetic is #1. It has gone down. Whenever it goes, I gave one of my auntie, she had a diabetic up to 28. It came down to 13. I took her to the doctor, and the doctor was, what did you do? The last time she was here, it was 28. I said, I gave her botanical. I told the doctor, I gave her the botanic. The doctor, he was an Indian. He checked botanical, he saw, what was it? Turmeric, abdelasin, they were natural things. So he said, okay, these are natural. That's not bad. So my family use, my mom use it. I use, my kids, my grandchildren. When they see omega-3 like this, they run for it. So for that, it's our water, because for me, with the products, I can talk until tomorrow morning. I wish you all the best. Try this product. Back to Fred. Thank you very much, Fred, and Gladys for the presentation.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Karima. We are honored to hear your testimony. I've heard it over and over. And if you're on the call, guys, we cannot, someone has asked about keloids and someone has asked about asthma. Please talk to the person who invited you. They'll definitely give you a solution for that. And if you're on the call and you feel it is time for you to take charge of your life, please tune in and be part of Neolife. Because in every company, our mission is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. So we are not just calling you for business. You don't have to do business if you don't want to. But please, can you come for your own benefit and the benefit of the people around you so that we live a healthier life? And so for me and from Fred, who hosts us here every Sunday, I want to say thank you so much for being a great audience, and thanks for the compliments online. I wish you well. And if we can be in a space where we knew nothing about health and we now know so much, each one of you has capacity to do that. Thank you very much, and God bless you.